Hi, I'm Gloria Mar Garcia, and this is Gloria Rodriguez. We love it here. We feel blessed to be here. We actually came from a shelter. We didn't have a place that we could afford to live, and we were able to come in here, and it's been amazing. They're like really, it's been really, really nice here, and yeah, we came here through the Council of Aging, and we feel really blessed because we finally have a affordable, safe place to live, which is not easy with both of us being disabled and being on disability. Glory loves it here. Glory's blind and she has cerebral palsy. And she loves music. Glory was born at 23 weeks prematurity. She weighed 1 pound 10 ounces, and they said she wasn't going to last 24 hours. And she's 27 years old now, so she's a blessing, a little miracle. She only weighed 1 pound. You want to go outside? Okay. My daughter got sick, and I was not able to afford. I take care of her by myself, and yeah, we ended up in the shelter. We lost everything. We lost the house and everything. So it feels, you know, I usually feel so alone with her, but since I moved in here, you know, everybody's here, and you know, you have all the help here at the office, and you know, they help us out with a lot of things, whatever we need to do with, you know, social work and everything. They helped us a lot. As a matter of fact, like on Mother's Day, I was all alone, and they sent a really nice dinner for us. So that was like really nice. And they do all these things for us for, like, you know, Christmas and all these functions that really, I know some people, you know, but I mean, they mean a great deal to us. We really appreciate everything that the Council of Aging has done for us, and I really encourage everyone that can help us, because it's really dear to our heart, you know. It's made a big difference to us. Yeah, when you move in here, it's like you don't just move in and they forget about you. They really, you know, they're here for us, and that means a lot.
All right, I'm Roberto Velez. I'm 20. After I graduated high school, I was kind of sitting around doing nothing for about 2 years, just kind of trying to land a job, hitting, missing. And I got wind of a program through Council on Aging's Building Stronger Families program. And when I looked into it, I mean, it was something that I was kind of hesitant about. It was manufacturing. I don't know that much about it. At least I didn't at the time. And the program lasted about 12 weeks. And about 2 weeks after I graduated, I got an interview with Lockheed Martin. Less than a week later, I heard back from them saying that they want to bring me in to work with them. So I'll be starting in about 3 weeks. I mean, science is where my heart's interest is, and I could go anywhere with it in their company. I didn't really think that the Council on Aging would have any opportunities for someone, or any programs for someone of my age group. And yet now, through their programs, I'm sitting in a job that can support me for life, and anyone I choose to support.
When I think about planning and strategic planning for the Council on Aging, these programs just make sense. And when we have a student like Roberto go to school within 3 months, get an interview with a company like Lockheed Martin, and have a job, that's just amazing. I don't think anybody can dispute that. That's just fantastic. So I'm very proud of him, and his family should be as well.
So the Council on Aging and Florida Hospital and United Way have a grant that helps us to try to get some of our patients that are under 200% of poverty, that live in Osceola County, that have no insurance, get to a doctor and try to get to a specialist, because that's needed as well. So we had one specialist that volunteers from Florida Hospital, Dr. Magnuson, and he's seen quite a few of our patients and have really helped us out. So recently, there were two brothers that were in the hospital, Ken, who's about 64, and Thomas, who's about 56. Ken was in the hospital. He has had recently, or somewhat recently, 2 heart attacks and COPD. Now he has Medicaid and he gets Social Security disability. Thomas doesn't have any income and he has no insurance. When Ken was in the hospital recently, Thomas was in there with him, and Thomas fainted. So the hospital checked him out, and Dr. Magnuson saw him and discovered he had a growth on the side of his neck, and he said it's cancer. So he did a biopsy, he confirmed it, and he called and asked us if we could try to help Thomas. So we took Thomas on. We went and met them at a motel that Florida Hospital put him up. We gave him a phone so that we could contact him. We gave him some toiletries, some food, some bus passes so they could get over here and become established over at the Council on Aging. We brought him over, the doctor saw him, we then referred him to one of our cancer treatment centers, and they accepted him, which was great, great news. So then they took him, the two brothers went over together, they had the surgery and removed the growth. It was crazy. He had stitches from like here to here, and then he had them from here down to here because 2 of the lymph nodes had cancer. Then from the top of his leg to his knee because they had to do a skin graft for the neck. So it was kind of crazy, but they did it, and it was great, great, great. So when they were releasing him, they called the Council on Aging and said, we need you to take Thomas, but he's going to have to live inside because they're both homeless. They're not going to be able to live outside, or he'll get an infection too easy. So we went to Connection Church and the different Catholic Church, St. Thomas, all the local Catholic churches, and asked them if they would help to pay for their lodging, and they did. So it was great. So we kept the 2 of them, and we would bring them some food, and they loved it. It was really wonderful. Then he had to go back to have the stitches and staples taken out and see how it was doing. So we got him a bus pass through Catholic Charities back over, and he did have an infection in his leg, so they ended up keeping him for about 10 days. After the 10 days, they released him again back to us, and he's doing great. Like I went and visited him at a park, and they're doing really good, and the stitches look good, and the infection is good, and so now they're just waiting to see what kind of treatment that he will need to follow up with since the surgery. But what is really really great is that they really had nothing. They just were living outside. They had nowhere to live. Thomas didn't have any insurance. He had nothing. And so they were so grateful that we were helping them. Really they were. Sorry, it's emotional. But they would call, and we were the Council on Aging was the only phone number in their phone. So no matter what happened. And one time Ken was having problems and he was having seizures. And they called, and they're like, we just didn't know who to call. And it was just so emotional because they just have nobody. So the Council on Aging is the only connection that they have. And so it's just nice that we're able to, with all the different partners we have, that we were able to get him treatment and that he's doing well. Yeah, if the Council on Aging was not able to step in, I don't think that Thomas would have gone for very long. The growth on the side of his neck was like the size of a grapefruit. It was huge. And when they did the surgery and removed the cancer, it was also in 2 lymph nodes. And so really and truly, I'm not sure that he would have had long. I just think, honestly, without the Council on Aging, it would be a whole different ending. I think that I know when people look at the Council on Aging and you can overlook it by saying, oh my gosh, they do so many things, that's so great, wow, what a great company. But really, it's the stories are so deep in there, they really touch you, and you really just want to help people. It just is, it's wonderful when it turns out, and that you're able to. And thanks to the people who help us at the Council on Aging, to donate money and donate resources and are willing to be our partners, that's what does it. That's what saves the people. Is all the people that help us, we help them. It's a good relationship.
My name is Helen Anita Bazell. I live in a subsidized housing, but we have a great organization, Council on Aging, which does tremendous things for us all. We were very fortunate. I moved here in 1998 from Harrison, Arkansas. And I moved in with my daughter and her husband. My daughter and her husband have a routine. They get up at 6 o'clock, they go out the door and go to work, they come home at 3 o'clock, and he cooks. He does all the cooking. 6 o'clock they eat, 7 o'clock is bath, 9 o'clock is bedtime. That's the routine. I just, well, being free for so many years, I thought, no, that's not for me. But I wanted a place. That was what we understood when I come down, I would find. Here, we have programs all the time, which help tremendously. But Council on Aging has so many things and so many opportunities that the people, if they just get out that can, they could have such a fulfillment of love. My family is here. And there is so much love shown, and they take care of each other. We have games here, we have karaoke here, we have, I have a sewing craft group here. We have about 3 or 4 ladies. We do hats and booties for preemies. We do burial outfits for little angels that go to heaven. I sew bears for Cornerstone Hospice. That's the biggest project. I have just finished 6 bears, 2 ready to stuff, and 3 more to cut. But to me, anyone that wants a home and want people that care about them, they need to come here. I know it's kind of rough to put a name on a waiting list, but I waited 6 years to get in here. I like it because it's mine, but I recommend that anybody that needs help to go to a Council on Aging and come here to see us. If anyone was to ask me, would you really move in there again? You better believe it. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a loner. I have children, but they're scattered to the winds. And my daughter's just now moving out over towards the East Coast someplace. So it'll just be me and my family here. Or anybody that can donate or can give, please do, because there are so many. You would see the people that are coming, older people, and they're still able to take care of themselves, and they have to wait so long. This one is from a lady that they just wanted a pretty bear made out of her, it was a blouse. So like I say, I talk to the Lord about them when I get the material. And now what am I going to do? How do you want me to make it? This one, the gentleman, he loved the USA. And his family said they just wanted the bear and they wanted the American flag put on it. And I have a pen that I'm going to put here that's got USA on it. Anytime you have any extra little things that they ask for, I try to do. And then when they get ready to go, I tell the Lord, thank you. I think they're doing a pretty good job to fill out the wants and wishes of those that have passed on. Maybe they can look down and see their clothing in a bear.
So I had my father and my uncle, and they both moved in with me. And I worked 13-hour shifts. So it was hard. I had to contact Counseling of Aging. and they helped me. I can't thank them enough, you know, with meals. That's how I was introduced to counseling of aging. You know, and they were wonderful. I have to say, I mean, they were always there. And then sometimes I couldn't take my dad to his appointments. I couldn't change my days off. So, you know, they would provide transportation, take him to and from. But they were wonderful. I can't say enough about them. They were always here, and anything, all I'd have to do is pick up the phone and call them, you know. That's how I became familiar with counseling of aging. And never dreaming that I would be like this today, you know, but it happens. No, it's very difficult for me sometimes with the treatments. Sometimes I'm there, oh, I leave here like at 8 in the morning, sometimes 6:30 in the morning. I don't get home till sometimes 4:30, 5:30, you know, it's an all day. And you're just exhausted. Oh yeah, I'm alone now. You know, all my children are raised and they all live, you know, further up in Orlando, so it's hard for them to really get here and do it, you know, help as much as they want to. I'm grateful. I am so grateful to them because I know the way I feel, I couldn't manage. I'd have to either have somebody come and live with me, or like my daughter said, you know, you could come with me, but she lives in New Jersey and I don't think I could take that cold weather anymore, because I was diagnosed in 2015 of September, and I was just kind of doing everything on my own, you know, and I thought I can do this, you know. I did it before, you know, but this time, this was a little bit tougher this time for me, you know. So then I thought, you know what, I'm going to give Counseling and Aging a call. And she goes, I remember you. She goes, I remember your dad. And even some of the gals that are the volunteers, they remember my dad because he was so flirty, very flirtatious. And I feel that, you know, if you're healthy and you're well, that maybe you should volunteer some of your time to Counseling and Aging, because I'm sure with the amount of work that they do and everybody that they help, okay, that they're going to need some volunteers to help as well. And I would highly recommend that they go, you know. In fact, I even said, if I beat this thing, I'm going to go over and see what I can do. I mean, not driving, but, you know, see if I can do something over there to help out. And I wish I could do more now, because I would help them because they've always been there. You know, I mean, that's what it's all about, because you never know what you're going to, you yourself, what's going to happen, you know? And there are good people out there. And I consider Counseling and Aging one of the best. You know, when you're alone and you don't have kids or a family to feed, you have a tendency, you don't eat right. And I wasn't eating right at all. And that's another reason my daughter said to me, you've lost so much weight. So much weight. And I knew I was, you know, but I just wasn't cooking, or, you know, you grab a sandwich or a cup of soup, you know, you think that's good enough, you know, but it wasn't. And that was another reason when I called, I started eating much better, because the meals are excellent. You get your veggie, you know, you get everything that you need that's good for you. And I started eating very well, and I went down to 112 from almost 138 pounds. And I'm putting it back. I'm putting the weight back. Not as much as I want to, you know, but I am, since I've been on Counseling of Aging. I think sometimes, we all do. I think we're healthy, we work, we try and raise our family, and we take life for granted sometimes. We don't think about, well, nobody does. You know, you don't think about ever getting cancer or being ill or having to depend on someone. You know, we take life for granted sometimes. But then, you know, things hit you. And you need that help. And they're always there. And that's what I tell everybody. Counseling agents, they're the best. You can't get any better. You know, so I'm blessed. I feel blessed. I thank God every day of my life. And Counseling of Aging, you know. for stepping in.